Hey guys, it's your boy Brandon coming at you, and today I have a lesson. So we are starting my 5-part video series of guitar techniques that you must know before you start opening up a book or doing anything like that. And this first lesson is going to be going over some of the very dead basic things that we need to get started with. So we're going to be covering tuning, we're going to be covering how to hold a pick, where to fret your notes with your left hand and things like that, and then we're also going to be going over how to read tab. So with this first part, let's go over tuning. So when we tune a guitar, okay, we first need to just identify our strings and what they are. So this is my 6th string, the fat one. Then I have my 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, okay? My 1st being the skinniest of the strings. So the fat one is the 6th, the 1st one is the skinny one here. Now, when I play these notes open, those notes have names. So the names of the notes are going to be E, A, D, G, B, and E. So a good way to memorize the names of your strings: Eddie, 8, Dynamite, Good, Bye, Eddie. It's a pretty easy way that I learned how to do it a while back. So with that said, let's talk about how to hold your pick. Now, when I hold a pick, I get my first finger to kind of line up like so, and then I get my thumb to cross over like this, with the pick being in the center like that. I'm going to try and hold my hand to where you guys can see it. Now, when I do that, what I also do, you'll notice that kind of like these fingers are sticking out. So what I do is I curl those up and I sort of make a fist. Now, sometimes I'll leave a little bit of pick like that, or I'll choke down on it more. It just depends on what I'm strumming through. Sometimes my grip will shift as I'm, holding the pick. So if I'm doing more fast stuff, I'll probably choke down on it more. Whereas if I'm doing more strumming stuff, I'll probably get more towards the back end of it. Just sort of depends. Now, when we fret notes, okay, one thing that we want to keep in mind is we want to be as close to the edge of the fret without being on the bar itself. So let's just say, for example, you want to play your 1st fret, 1st string, okay? Instead of being back here on the note, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be right here. And there's a tonal difference to that as well. So if I'm back here in the middle of the fret, it's going to sound like this. You hear how it has kind of a rattle to it, right? But compared to when I fret as close to the edge of the fret as possible, sounds pretty good, right? So with that said, let's get on to talking about tablature, okay? So this is going to be very useful for you guys who are just getting started out. You guys are probably just trying to figure out how to play some very basic stuff, and it's probably not going very successful if you do not know how to read tab. So that is why we are here today. So what is tab? Tab is a shorthand way for guitar players to be able to learn how to play a song without actually having to know how to read music. Let's face it, sheet music is flat out boring, okay? And it takes quite a bit to get the hang of being able to read sheet music effectively enough to be able to play things on the fly. A lot of you guys don't want to sit there and have to do that kind of stuff. You want to get right to rocking and rolling, and I personally do not blame you in the slightest, okay? When sheet music was originally made, it was made in a time when the electric guitar, and really guitar in general, was not even thought of, okay? I mean, of course they had lute and things like that, but that's besides the point. When we get into this, okay, tab is a very easy, forgiving system to be able to learn how to read music. And this is going to be, for you beginner guys that are watching my videos and watching the other instructors' videos, this is going to be an absolutely essential thing that you need to know how to do, because we do include tab examples with all of our videos. So if you can't keep up with what we're doing in our left hand and be able to see everything that we're doing, we want to make sure that you're getting everything correct, so we include a tab with it. Now, with that being said, let's get into how to read tab. So I brought out my handy dandy dry erase board. I tried to write things nice and big for you guys to be able to see what's going on here. And at some points I might, put the dry erase board up a little closer. Now, you'll see that I have 6 lines on my dry erase board, okay? And that's not by coincidence, because you have 6 strings on your guitar. Like how I'm resting this on my chin? Yeah, it looks real goofy. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about the lines and what those mean first, and then we're gonna get into some more grittier details. So let's get that started. So your bottom line, okay, looking at tabs is sort of like looking at your guitar neck while it's facing you, okay? So your 6th string is gonna be on the bottom, your 1st string is gonna be on top, all right? And the way we label this is 6th string, 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. Okay, just like that. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Now, that's pretty simple. Now, in case we get confused, the 6th string is going to be the fat string. Okay, and like I say, if we still get confused, the top string is going to be the skinny one. With me so far? Pretty straightforward. I'm sure you guys are doing great. All right, so now we've got to identify the note names, okay? Now, if you paid attention in the tuning video that I put out, you will know the names of these notes already. But if we need an acronym to help acclimate these to memory as fast as possible, I have a really goofy acronym for you guys to be able to memorize. Now, when I was in a guitar class way back when, there was this real weird kid that was sitting in the back, and he had acronyms for everything. I guess it was a way for him to be able to memorize stuff, which is a good technique, don't get me wrong. But he yelled out, "Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie." And when I thought of it, it was like, that's perfect. So, when we name the strings, E, A, D, G, B, and E. So Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Pretty awesome. All right. So we've identified the strings, we've identified their names. Now we have to talk about the frets, which are those metal bars that are running across your fretboard. Now, when we fret notes, obviously we're not going to put our finger on top of the bar because it makes like a little doink noise, sort of. That's why we fret our notes as close to the edge of the fret without being on the bar as possible. Now, when I put a number on one of these lines, okay, the number, let's keep this in mind, is going to be the fret that I'm on. The line that it's going to be on is going to be the string that you're going to have to play. Pretty straightforward. So if I was to put a number 1 here, let me write that again. That's a little sloppy. Yeah, made a smear. Okay. Come on, Brandon. If I put a number 1 there, okay? That number 1 means that I'm going to take my first finger, I'm going to find the high E string, and I'm going to play the 1st fret. If I take this number, and let's say I put a 3 on the same line. Well, if 1 is on the high E string, 1st fret, and I just need to go to 3, well, I'm just going to take where my first finger's at, and I'm going to slide it up 2 more frets on the same string. Now, let's say I put a 0 on one of these lines. That 0 means you just play the string open. There's no notes to fret with the left hand, you just play the string completely open, and that's really all there is to it. Alright guys, so if you guys enjoyed this lesson, please feel free to sign up for private lessons with me, and if you guys have any comments or questions or concerns, that's another reason why you guys should sign up for lessons with me. For $100 a month, you guys get 4 private lessons with me, or you get access to all of my videos on the Andrew White Guitar channel. So, with that said, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys had as much fun learning as I did filming this. So with that said, guys, peace.